I understand all of these different projects you have going on, but this, what? Why are you giving me attitude?
I don't think you understand.
I want you to understand my feelings.
Okay.
And I want you to acknowledge my feelings.
I listen to logic. If you want to communicate effectively with me, come in, sit down, and prove your point. Okay, you name all these different projects you have going on, but at the end of the day, that's still my space. That was my space. And what if it happened to you? If somebody's sitting in your chair, you see a computer up, you see a degree up. Quite frankly, just, you know, there's not like commerce going on from that desk right now anyway.
After years of rumors, quiet tension, and moments that didn't quite sit right with viewers, something finally happened that changed everything. And this time, it wasn't subtle. It wasn't hidden behind a smile or brushed off with a quick explanation. This time, it felt different. Because when LaTisha Scott finally started connecting the dots, what she uncovered didn't just shake her marriage, it shook the entire narrative people thought they understood. For a long time, people questioned Marsau. They whispered. They speculated. They pointed out the late nights, the vague answers, the energy that just didn't add up.
There are a lot of double standards in this group. Marsau is a big-mouthed person, and he has a lot of standards, and some of them might be double. I don't know.
But LaTisha? She stood firm. She defended him. She believed in him. Over and over again, she chose loyalty, even when the outside world was already forming its own conclusions. But here's the twist. What nobody expected was that while everyone thought LaTisha was simply ignoring the signs, she was actually watching everything closely. And when the truth finally started to surface, it didn't come in pieces. It came all at once, loud, undeniable, and impossible to ignore.
Like what? I don't understand. Like what?
Okay, I'm gonna hear.
A lot of times, Tisha hears things about Marsau she probably already know. She just don't want you to know. Because then, the more people know, the more she might have to do something about it. Almost how Melody had to do, you know? That's why I try to keep whatever Marsau and I done in the past with women and places we've gone, things we've done, people we shared. Him after me, though.
And just like that, the story flipped. Because now, the same woman who once defended Marsau at all costs was standing in a completely different position. And what she revealed? It had people questioning everything they thought they knew about their relationship. LaTisha Scott has always carried herself with a certain kind of grace. From the very beginning, she came across as someone who truly believed in marriage, commitment, and building a life that meant something. She wasn't just there for the spotlight. She was there to build something real, a family, a legacy, a partnership. And for a while, it looked like that's exactly what she had. She and Marsau built businesses together.
I understand all of these different projects you have going on, but this, what? Why are you giving me attitude?
I don't think you understand.
I want you to understand my feelings. And I want you to acknowledge my feelings.
I listen to logic. If you want to communicate effectively with me, come in, sit down, and prove your point. Okay, you name all these different projects you have going on, but at the end of the day, that's still my space.
They raised their children together. On the surface, they looked like a solid unit, focused, driven, and aligned. The kind of couple people either admired or tried to understand. But if you paid attention, there were cracks. Small moments that didn't seem like much at first. Conversations that felt slightly off. Times where LaTisha seemed to be holding back more than she was saying. It wasn't loud enough to confirm anything, but it was just enough to make people wonder. Still, she stayed. She defended him when others questioned his behavior. She stood beside him when rumors started gaining traction. She kept choosing the relationship, even when it became harder to ignore what people were saying. And that's what made everything so complicated. Because LaTisha wasn't naive. She wasn't blind. She was choosing to trust. Choosing to believe that whatever people were saying didn't reflect her reality. But pressure doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It builds. And over time, it changes things. Behind the scenes, what people didn't see was the emotional weight she was carrying. The constant need to hold everything together. The effort it takes to protect a marriage while the outside world keeps trying to tear it apart. That kind of pressure doesn't just go away. It stays. It grows. And eventually, it forces a shift. And that's exactly what happened. Because at some point, things stopped adding up in a way LaTisha couldn't overlook anymore. The late nights weren't just late nights. The explanations weren't just vague, they were inconsistent. And the energy? It started to feel different. What nobody expected was how quickly things would escalate once she started digging deeper. Because once LaTisha began paying attention in a different way, the truth didn't stay hidden for long. That's when the side chick rumors stopped being just rumors. And that's what made everything so complicated. Because LaTisha wasn't naive. She wasn't blind. She was choosing to trust. Choosing to believe that whatever people were saying didn't reflect her reality. But pressure doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It builds. And over time, it changes things. Behind the scenes, what people didn't see was the emotional weight she was carrying. The constant need to hold everything together. The effort it takes to protect a marriage while the outside world keeps trying to tear it apart. That kind of pressure doesn't just go away. It stays. It grows. And eventually, it forces a shift. And that's exactly what happened. Because at some point, things stopped adding up in a way LaTisha couldn't overlook anymore. The late nights weren't just late nights. The explanations weren't just vague, they were inconsistent. And the energy? It started to feel different. What nobody expected was how quickly things would escalate once she started digging deeper. Because once LaTisha began paying attention in a different way, the truth didn't stay hidden for long. That's when the side chick rumors stopped being just rumors. For the first time, he didn't seem as untouchable. Because what made this situation even more intense was how layered it was. This wasn't just about a possible side relationship. It was about trust. Respect. Boundaries that may have been crossed more than once. And once that idea entered the conversation, everything changed. Moments from the past started looking different. Things people once brushed off suddenly felt more serious. And the image of a strong, controlled dynamic began to crack in a very public way. But here's where it gets even deeper. Because for LaTisha, this wasn't just about what people were saying or what was being exposed. It was about what she was feeling in real time. That shift from defending someone to questioning them is not easy. It's emotional. It's confusing. And it forces you to confront a reality you may not have been ready to face. There's a certain kind of heartbreak that comes with realizing something you fought to protect might not be what you thought it was. And that's where LaTisha found herself. Caught between what she had built and what was now being revealed. For years, she carried the responsibility of keeping everything together. The marriage, the family, the image. She did what many people in her position do, she chose to believe in the bigger picture. But now, the bigger picture was shifting. And the emotional impact of that doesn't hit all at once. It comes in waves. Moments of clarity followed by moments of doubt. Anger mixed with disappointment. Strength battling with vulnerability. Because when trust is questioned at that level, it changes everything. Not just how you see the other person, but how you see yourself within that relationship. For her family, the impact was just as real. These weren't just rumors floating around online. These were situations that affected real lives, real emotions, and real decisions about the future. And while the public focused on the drama, what was happening behind? Conversations that needed to be had. Truths that couldn't be avoided. And a reality that was shifting whether anyone was ready for it or not. For Marsau, this moment brought a different kind of pressure. Because when everything is going your way, it's easy to maintain control. It's easy to present a certain image. But when that image starts to crack, how you respond becomes everything. And this time, the control didn't feel as strong. Because now, the narrative wasn't just in his hands. LaTisha had a voice in it too. And she was starting to use it in a way people hadn't seen before. Not loud. Not chaotic. But clear. And sometimes, clarity hits harder than anything else. In the end, this situation wasn't just about a side chick rumor or a moment of exposure. It was about transformation. Because whether the relationship survives or not, something has already changed. LaTisha is no longer in the same position she once was. She's no longer just defending. She's questioning. Observing. Deciding what comes next. And that shift? It's powerful. Because when someone who has spent years holding everything together finally starts to see things differently, there's no going back to the old version of that relationship. And now the question becomes, what happens next? Does this situation lead to a complete breakdown, or does it force a new kind of honesty that reshapes everything? Can trust be rebuilt after something like this, or has too much already been revealed? One thing is certain. This story isn't over. If anything, it's entering a new phase, one where the truth matters more than appearances, and where decisions carry real consequences. Because at the end of the day, situations like this don't just expose relationships. They reveal people. And what LaTisha chooses to do next could change everything.